just go back to AI here a second. AI is a function of data. It's essentially the more data you have, this is generative AI essentially is just literally, well, it's a function of data. We had to digitize everything and we had to basically put it in the cloud to allow us to get to the point where AI could plow it through it and make sense of it. And here's what's crazy about the amount of data in the world. So folks here, I don't know how techie you are. Everyone's kind of familiar with these kind of numbers. If you just keep adding zeros, we get into zettabytes and exabytes. So look at that. We are now in the world of zettabytes and exabytes. Now, let me just give you a sense of how crazy fast this is happening. If you go back to the beginning of human history, when we're banging information on clay tablets 8,000 years ago, or 8,000 BC, 10,000 years ago, all the way till the year 2003, I guess it was, all human beings had come together, had come up with 5 exabytes of data. That was that one notch up, right? We are now doing that every 2 days, we're producing that. And we're essentially, the world's data is doubling every 2 years. And so again, it had to shrink this thing just to show you, oh, we keep going here, to get it to, we're about 60 zettabytes by 2020. I love that little thing. And I'm telling you, by 2025, we're looking at probably be at about 175 zettabytes. Again, that's that lower one here. Now, what essentially is happening is everything in the world is being digitized, everything's being captured, and everything now is available for AI to plumb. So this is the first big thing you have to understand. It's all that digital transformation last 10 years of everyone trying to everything in the cloud was a prerequisite for this. Now, what happened is there was a shift in approach to AI. We've been going down the wrong path of AI for literally since the 50s. And there was a rogue crew that had a thing called neural networks and large language models that had been ostracized forever. But essentially by this time, it was a breakthrough here, basically, in this period, where they figured out, oh my God, that's the way to go. That's what you call LLMs, large language models, neural networks. You hear these things now. And so corporates got early wind of that, and they started pouring money into it. So this is investment as a little kind of proxy for what's happening. Then OpenAI, which was a startup, even though Google and Facebook and Amazon, they'd all been doing this. But it took OpenAI to say, hell with it, we're going to put it out there, which they did. And boom, this has been the investment in startups now, gone through the roof. Now, where is the money going? It's going to basically California again. And I know this is people from all over the country here, but half of all Gen AI investment is going to California, and that really means the Bay Area. And there is something going around in various places, but anyhow, if you want to know what's happening, go to San Francisco right now. ChatGPT, the fastest takeoff ever. There are more people using ChatGPT than LinkedIn or Netflix or any of that now. And within 2 months, it had 200 million people. I mean, it's just this crazy number of people taking it. So we know it's like, okay, they're using it. Now, I'm just saying, and this affects you guys, anything, these are the prices of various things that Americans want. Anything that has already been automated has been cheaper over the years here. Literally, cars are as cheap, they're better quality, but they're cheaper, as cheap today as they were 25 years ago. Anything that had to do with human intelligence, where we couldn't automate it, particularly higher education, medical care, all kinds of stuff, hasn't been able to be automated, has gotten super expensive, has gotten so expensive it's prohibitive. You can't have higher education numbers going up any further. You can't have much more in medical. But that's when AI comes in. Everything that has to do with this is going to start to get automated in different ways. So that's another way to think. And your industry too, there's going to be interesting things. So we'll get to that. Basically, I would say, think about it, it's going to augment most people. It's going to not even touch, these are kind of physical things like cleaning, maintenance and that stuff. That's not going to get affected for a while. That's red. Blue is they're going to get augmented, meaning much more productive. And the grays, this is Goldman Sachs, by the way. Yeah, Goldman Sachs. Lawyers are getting hit early, but serious displacement. And executive assistants, as I mentioned, are going to get hit fast here, too. That is true displacement. But this is not a total displacement of workers. That whole fear, not true. We're going to push humans up the food chain, up into higher problems. And your industry is an interesting early version of this, which is if you go back to the spreadsheet days. You guys all remember this. Release of Lotus, right here in the early 80s, and release of Excel. Everybody, this is how many bookkeepers, and everyone thought, oh my God, it's going to destroy the accounting world. Everybody, bookkeepers. And it's like, and at first, it did come down for those kind of folks, the entry, putting stuff in there. But look at what happened. These are essentially the financial people that took advantage of that, and there are now more jobs involved in your space than there ever was before. This is what technology does. It releases the dumb jobs to automation, and it puts the creative, innovative jobs to the human brains. And this is, you remember this. So just